Hey guys, this is Gamer Kel. Welcome back to Pokemon Black Random Nuzlocke. This time we're taking on Gym 7. Obviously not much has changed here. I brought Other Note out even though I'm probably not going to use her. Mostly through under-leveling stuff I suppose, but as you can obviously see I've told it Rock Tomb, but the main reason I have it is because of Fig Fat. You know, giving a resistance to ice attacks, which are the biggest problem here. And she can tank with Milk Drink, and obviously that really good defense. So yeah, there's potential, but mostly I don't expect Spider Pig to have any trouble just sweeping this gym. I'd be surprised, even with my low base power and fighting attacks. I think Heat Crash should be sufficient for the most part. This guy doesn't really say very much either, so there is that. He is Bryson, and that's what he looks like. He's actually really weird. He's got half covering, half not covering, and I just don't know what to think to, this guy. His Pokemon are level 37 and 39 respectively, so 37, 37, 39. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. He's in the 30s, so he should not be too much of an issue if you have good fire type. And let's face it, Darumaka's in this game as well, so if you've been leveling that, you should have a Darmanitan right now, and that is amazing. And well, Ember is just gonna completely decimate this guy, because a Flame Charge apparently is by itself enough to take out the Vanillish. Go figure. So, of course, he has to go straight in with his trump card here. This is Beartic, or that's how I call it. Obviously, it's Beartic. I call it that for no reason whatsoever, but anyway, it's the evolved form of Cubchoo. This is what we would have had if it didn't die. Whatever, I'm sorry, I'm still bitter about that. Not too bitter, but yeah, it's got a decent attack score. It's pretty low in speed, and it's fairly bulky, not too bulky, but it's got respectable stats going for it, and Heat Crash is probably not going to do as much as I would like, because it is obviously a big beefy bear, so it is, fairly resistant to that. And it does have Swagger, but I managed to dodge it. Yeah, 10% chance of it missing, and it actually missed. So that's good. Heat Crash is a 2-hit KO too. I'm not really surprised at that, but it's nice that it did so much damage, because it could have just done nothing. Heat Crash is of course dependent on the weight of the Pokemon in question. If his Pokemon are lighter than mine, then I do more damage. Also, I didn't really bother checking stats there, but I think I got another 4 in the... Did I get another 4 in attack, or did I get another 2? I forget. I forget what I had before. Whatever, his last Pokemon is Cryogonal, and that's not really gonna threaten me at all, because Heat Crash is gonna murder this thing. It might not one-hit KO because it didn't before, but then this one's a different Cryogonal and it just one-hit KOs. Yeah, I didn't expect any threat from this guy. For Gym 7, this happens with Price as well in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It's underwhelming simply because Ice has got so many weaknesses to it. It's a powerful offensive type, but on the weakness front, it just has nothing. His signature attack, which he'll try and hit you with, is Frost Breath. Usually it's a 90% accurate move with 40 base power, which we will see in a minute actually, because the spoilers, the TM that we get here is also Frost Breath. It always lands a critical hit. So in reality, it's an 80 base power move that can't crit. The only viable use for this attack is that it can go through light screen, and that's it. And it's not even good at that, to be honest. Yeah, I'll very briefly show it off, I guess. Also, I bought Fire Blast because I have money to spare at the moment, and I can always sell stuff anyway. So I was tempted to teach Fire Blast, but only Spider Pig can learn it, out of who I have in my party right now. Where is it? It's up here. Yeah, 40 base power, 90 accuracy, only 10 PP too, so it's got everything going against it, basically. Crits are just not... I mean, they're game-breaking, but on a 40 base power move, it's just not that impressive at all. So yeah, there's another move like it that's a fighting type attack called Storm Throw, I believe, and that's also useless. Anyway, Chero and Bianca, something has changed, blah 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 blah. He's still being all emo and all of that, and he's like, yeah, whatever, fan club doing stuff, and these two are people. But that is not... Apparently Bryson has the ability to see the invisible. And yeah, the Shadow Triad has been here the whole time. Huh. Apparently Bryson can see these dudes without... But whatever. Getsus is telling us to go to Dragon's Battle Tower now, blah 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 blah. So, stuff. Stuff is happening at the tower. And that's where we've got to go now. Yes. So that's what's gonna happen. And now Bianca's gonna be like, I'm too scared, so I'm not going. Apparently she is going as well. But she's just going to stay there for it. Well, there's not really any reason for me to go back and heal, because I used a grand total of like 4 moves. So, we might as well. Except Bianca is going to bug us again for no apparent reason here, and Cedric, blah 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 blah, you have a Juniper. We know this dude already. Yeah. Except Bianca didn't, so whatever. Grateful, everything. Da 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 da. Stuff is happening. Team Plasma broke the wall in the tower. We checked it last episode. Obviously there wasn't a gap there, so now everybody's going up there after them, but that's not gonna help. Basically we're getting to crunch time in this part now, and we need to go up and try to stop them from getting the legendary dragon Pokemon that's up there, because you know every freaking game now has to have legendary dragons ever since Rayquaza. Damn you, Rayquaza! You weren't even integral to the main plot until Emerald as well, but still, you caused this influx of dragon legendaries. You just... Now every mascot legendary apparently has to be dragon. But thankfully, the next generation, X and Y, seem to not be following that same trend. So that's good. I like that a lot. But yeah, Bianca's too scared to go in herself, so apparently Cedric is going to accept her as a bodyguard. That just doesn't help at all. Anyway, the old Gato. This is an item that was from the previous games, actually, from you know, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. It's a full heal, basically. So I won't really be using it, but because we've seen stuff in this before, we know that we can actually sell that to somebody, because it's a food item, so yeah. You aren't even going to fight us. You don't even have a face, man. You probably have a face on the main games themselves, but whatever. Anyway, they also broke the pillars over here, which is interesting, and something which I want to check out. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to encounter something in the water which does not count because it's always going to be Basculin, and I've already caught one of these anyway, so it double doesn't count because of the duplicate thing. But there is grass over this other side, and there is actually also a trainer on this other side too. So yeah, well, there's more than one, I think, because yeah, there's you up there. I remember this one distinctly because this one killed my Pokemon before, and that was not fun. Spider Pig's the best one to take her on with, so even though I've been using it a lot at the moment, that is pretty much what we're gonna do. So yeah, improved ability, catching everything, whatever. Yeah, how did they even get over here beforehand anyway? Have they been here the whole time, or did they just appear when we got up here? I don't even know. When Plasmos broke the pillars, I don't know how they got here, and that's bugging me. Whatever, level 35 Kochu is not the difficult one, but it gives me an excuse to flame charge, and that is something I will gladly take, because I think I most definitely need to be at +1 speed for what's coming up next. So thank you for giving me that opportunity, I suppose. So yeah, unfortunately what comes out now is Darmanitan. Yeah, this thing is scary as all hell. It has 140 base attack and it's got Flare Blitz. So it hurts. I do believe this killed one of my guys before, and I didn't enjoy that in the slightest. I do have some defense against fire attacks in this party, but that doesn't help at the moment. I mean, my advantage here is that it's 5 levels lower than I am, and I lowered its defense so I can KO it next turn. But it also has Hammer Arm, which is a 100 base power fighting attack. Thankfully, it is only fire type, it is not fire fighting, so that 140 base attack, whilst it does hurt, I have the HP to tank that attack. So I planned for this team, basically, that particular Pokemon this time, because I did not want to lose anything. So even though Spider Pig is now over level compared to everyone else, he got 5 attack! There you go, getting attack EVs off of that thing, that definitely shows. But yeah, I planned for this one, because I really didn't want to lose a Pokemon now. Leaveney, obviously, Bug and Grass, it's quad weak against Fire, and Heat Crash is Fire of high power. There was no doubting that was going to kill. So yeah, no ordinary person indeed, that is true. Pokemon time, however. What are we going to catch out of this thing? What do I want to try and catch it with? Probably Udinot, because she's probably the best bet power-wise, because it's roughly the same sort of levels in this era. What's the item first, actually? Embargo! An item, a TM that stops item use. It's interesting. It's a dark attack that stops the opponent from using items, including held items. Including held items for 5 turns. That is so ironic. Obviously no duplicates, so I will be back when something shows up that I can catch. Well, crap. Okay, so this is the first thing that showed up, and well, Burmese not exactly very good, so we'll just catch it and ignore it. I need to show off the nature of Time Power, actually, I just realised that, but yeah, it's not very good. And it died because of Rocky Helmet, I forgot about that, so hey, we don't get to catch Pokemon yet. I think that's the first failed capture in this run. Oh well, I'm not really complaining because that's a crap Pokemon anyway, so hey. Rocky Helmet, I kind of forgot about that existence. So, no Burmy for me. It can evolve into, well, I think that was a male one, right? So it would have had to just evolve into Morphin, which is a very generic and very poor bug and flying type, which would have died very quickly anyway, so I don't care too much about that. But the female ones can evolve into Wormadam, which is still crap, but an interesting Pokemon, because what it actually does is it actually changes its typing depending on what cloak you had on Burmy when it evolved. The cloaks are gained, I believe, by just sending it out in different environments. I don't know if you have to do any attacks with it or anything, but it basically has 3 forms. It's got the plant cloak is the default that we saw there. The trash cloak is the city-based one, which will actually make it evolve into a steel type, bug and steel instead of bug and grass. And the sand cloak from deserts and stuff like that will make it turn into a bug and ground type. And the stats are different between the 3 types as well, so you know, oh god, confusion. I'm probably switching out of this thing, to be honest. I think Spider Pig, yeah, definitely switching out of it. Oh dear, whatever. I was hoping to get a hit in on it first, but that's just how it goes. So, Spider Pig, you're gonna get some more use, because Signal Beam kinda hurts. Yes, it has mediocre stats still, mostly its speed is always terrible, and that's just, unfortunately, Burmese fate. You know, Wormadam and Morphin are both terrible. Morphin does have a decent sort of range of attacks that it can learn. It can learn stuff, I think it can learn like Energy Ball and Shadow Ball and, you know, stuff, but so can Beautifly, and it's basically the same thing. Morphin does get, unlike Beautifly actually, it does get access to Quiver Dance, which is a very, very good move to have. But it's still not good. Really, the best user of Quiver Dance is Venomoth, even, you know, when it evolves. That's it. So, yeah, no capture for this bit. I do believe that is it for the items and stuff over this bit. I may come back if I'm wrong, but yeah. Also, with this bit having only Basculin in it, assuming that it's not raining and or you're just going to switch out anyway, this is an excellent place to do effort training for speed, because Basculin gives you 2 speed points every time and you will always be getting, you know, that no matter what. You will always get Basculin in this area, so this is your best bet in the game, I think, for speed training, and that's good. But anyway, the people in the stream when I did this originally did count this as a new area, the inside of the tower. I was always sketchy about it because although it's a different, there's 2 out of the 3 sort of things in it which are different. This better let me. Oh, I couldn't run. Tailwind, up speed, whatever, don't care. The thing with this place is, well, it doesn't have a different music, but what it does have is the ability to not let me run away from a Whimsicott, but also the different encounters and a completely different atmosphere, the inside of the tower compared to the outside. Now, normally I would still not really count this as different because it's still called Dragon Spiral Tower and it's still got the same music, but people on the stream wanted me to take a second Pokemon out of here, I guess, because there were enough factors to them that were different, and so to keep this with the same rules that I played before, I am going to get another Pokemon here, which is why I'm just trying to get an encounter. I figured I'd just explain the stance right now before I get a Pokemon, which is not going to be you because you have a Prevolution, aka Smoochum. Yeah, I figured I would explain the stance because I know that if I don't, I'm going to get people saying, why are you doing this, you know, this is not legit, this is not a Nuzlocke, blah 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 blah. And I just wanted to make it absolutely clear that, you know, the rules I'm following with this, I asked about before with Pokemon people when they were watching me, and yeah, I checked this with what they thought, and you know, the viewers that I had at the time, I think it was actually quite a few on this one. It was closer to about 13 or 14 when I did this part, I think. It was pretty unanimous to get another Pokemon here. Whoa, it's got X-Scissor. That's not what I expected. Ow. Huh. I only switched into Dweevil to resist a grass hit and run away, but whatever. But yeah, it was voted on, so we will grab something here as soon as one shows up, and one does show up. All of the electric types, none of the flying Pokemon. I do not have a Pokemon with fly still, and it's gonna be a decent bit, I guess, before I can get another one. So that's kind of obnoxious, but we'll deal with it, whatever. Mareep is one of my more favourite electric types, actually, and I do love electric types, so I'm kind of glad that they're showing up here. The speed is the bad part about this. Once again, it's similar in a way to what's his face? It's similar to Electros, except it doesn't have Levitate. It has Static, but it is a relatively decent Pokemon in its own right, because it's got good HP, it's got very good special attack, not so good physical, but very nice special attack. It doesn't take a whole lot from that Electro Web, which is good. It has Electro Ball for some reason. I have no idea why on earth it's got that, because that totally doesn't fit it at all, but okay. Has access to Cotton Spore, which is quite good. I do believe it gets Cotton Guard nowadays, which increases your defense by 3 stages. Absolutely ridiculous. It might get Tail Glow. I don't think it does, but if it does, that would be awesome, because that raises special attack by 3 stages. I think that would make it a bit good, though, for stuff here. I don't think it does get Tail Glow, which is an absolute farce, but it should do. It does get Power Gem for some reason, which is a rock type attack that is special based, so that's useful. And it can learn Signal Beam by tutors, I think. I don't think it learns it naturally, like most electric types. So its move pool is going to be a bit weird. But it can tank as well as dish out a lot of damage. And you can do stuff like Thunder Wave and Cotton Spore to change the whole speed dynamic into your favour. So, all in all, it's a decent Pokemon for a Nuzlocke, if a little bit limited because of its minor like move pool syndrome stuff. It will evolve twice in 2 levels at this point, because it evolves first at 15 and then at 30. So I think it's 15 when it first evolves. So yeah, it's a good Pokemon that way, and I don't have anything initially to call this after, which is kind of not amazing. But I pretty much know that Wool is gonna flip if I don't actually call it after him. So you know what, General Wool, there you go. There is your minor thing here. I might as well because I can't think of anything else. So yeah, we shall check out those Pokemon later. For now, however, I'm gonna progress up the tower. What I'm actually gonna do first is heal a bit, because I should do that before I forget. That would be kind of stupid to forget again. Did I not have Moo Moo Milks? I was pretty sure I had Moo Moo Milks in here somewhere. They are over here. Why are they down there? They should be all the way at the top here. But I've really gotten that many items since? That's kind of weird. But okay, you need healed up. Obviously, I don't know, he needs healed up. Might as well heal up Dweevil too, because why not? And yeah, that's how we go. Not much else to do with it. So, Dragon Spiral Tower is kind of weird. I should put repels on, shouldn't I, at this point? Steelix! That's interesting. Yeah, I should put repels on. I'll be back in a sec. So as I was saying, Dragon Spiral Tower, you can hear something huge is going on right now, and that's, yeah. So it tells me that Team Plasma has succeeded in what they were wanting. Charon, you're all the way up there. Can't exactly get up there immediately, but yes, of course, you can walk on fallen columns and whatnot, which is basically where the main gimmick of this place comes from. You can cheese this entire thing, it's not even cheesy, you can just skip this entire thing by using strength here. I do believe there is no sort of reason why you would not do that immediately, because then you can just say, hey, I can walk on stuff, and that's great. Actually, I think that's the only way you can go, so maybe? No, because obviously you can go under these, so if you don't want to go ahead and walk on the top of these, then you can just use strength. I forget that HMs are never required in this game outside of maybe 1 point. So there is that. The item over here is Stardust. We can sell that later as well. Yeah, I guess it's kind of neat that you can do the strength thing for that. But pretty much what you're going to be doing is going up with the return of the Ho-Oh puzzles. Yes, in Tin Tower, this was the first time that this type of puzzle came out. Tin Tower in Gold and Silver had these platforms that you can only go one way on. So in order to get all the items and stuff, I'm going up this way. I need to put another rappel on. So yep, I haven't got too many left. I guess I'll buy some when we're done with this. But yep, you can go up, get yourself an item, which is a shiny stone. If you somehow in your random run picked up a Togepi, then your shiny stone there will let your Togetic evolve into a Togekiss. Or if you picked up a Budew, or Budew, however you want to call it, you can then evolve Roselia into Roserade with that too, which is pretty neat. So, up here, lots of Team Plasma grunts and whatnot. Nothing, there are a ton of them, that is very true. I don't think you fight the ones on the left hand side there if you go up to them, but you do fight these two. So, the return of Team Plasma is here, obviously. I mean, it was never a doubt that you were going to have to fight these guys again fairly soon, but yeah, Team Plasma never leaves. They still have the ever annoying Watchhog, however, so oh man. But their levels are very much lower than everything else in this area. That's what's funny with this game in a way, that unlike oh, it's not using. Oh wow. Okay, that's good. The thing with this game, level-wise, is that because it's so linear, because it directs you along one path at all times, if the opposing trainers have got weaker Pokemon and whatnot, then oh cool. They will not, you know, the Plasma team will never stand a chance against you because their Pokemon will always be weaker. This is, I guess, different to, say, Heart Gold or Soul Silver, once again, where you can actually sort of run into the Mahogany Team Rocket before you actually do stuff on the other side, so you can actually get to them when you're not as high a level. Whereas these guys, they're always going to be several levels lower than the last gym, which makes them weird. Weird in the sense of they are never going to really threaten you too much. Having said that, they do have lots of Watchhogs and stuff like that. Liepard, I don't think Liepard's going to be too much of a threat, to be completely and brutally honest here, because, well, I've said it about it before and it's kind of been a bit annoying that way, but it honestly is just not that strong. And if it gets an attack boost, its Night Slash, I guess, is kind of strong. But it's so fragile that it's always going to go down in 1 or 2 hits depending on what you've got. And its attack stat is still nothing spectacular. I mean, look at that, even a Surf that could kill the Watchhog managed to kill it. White Rock isn't even fully evolved yet, so yeah, it's weird that way. I don't know, it's just, Liepard is just not very good. If you've managed to get a good bug type here, then, you know, before this bit, like my original playthrough, I had Cypher for this, and Cypher just absolutely decimated everything in this place. But, I don't have Cypher this time, so I'm having to go with other stuff. Scraggy's a fighting type, and I'm an ice type. I probably shouldn't stay in. As much as I think I'd be completely fine staying in, I really shouldn't, because there's no need to risk lots of damage. It's got Brick Break, I'm 99% sure of that, because I've been hit by Brick Break before on the lower level one. It's got Chip Away, which is not that strong. Yeah, I mean, Aquafina's good physically, you know, physically as well, so there's honestly no reason for me to stay in with a fighting weak Pokemon against a fighting type. No, but it survived that though, that's kind of weird. I don't expect it to go first still, because it's only a Scraggy, but just in case, and because it's low enough on health anyway, Aqua Jet can do the finishing blow. I'm probably going to ditch Aqua Jet at some point. You know, it's good priority, but the low power kind of really does it in. Having said that, the decent attack stat that Samurott has got, plus the ability in Torrent, means it's quite a good pinch move to have. So I don't know, I actually kind of like the moveset right now. Yeah, I've got 2 water attacks on it, but one is physical with priority, the other one is special with a burn rate. So that's nice, and then it's got X-Scissor for basic, you know, damage against grass types, and Grass Knot for damage against water types. X-Scissor also happens to deal with Liepard, but I'm not using it against Liepard, so yay. I want to get White Rock leveled up, because as most people will know by now, it will evolve fairly soon. And it is my sole abuser of Eviolite right now, so it's a good Pokemon to have around for sure. I was actually looking into its moveset a little bit before fighting the last gym as well, just in case I had to switch out to it with its 8 times resistance to ice. And it can actually learn Rock Tomb as well, which is really funky. But obviously I didn't need it in the end, and I think the Beartic has got it's got like Rock Slide or something probably, so it would have been a bad move against it anyway. This is why I don't like Assurance as another random tangent here, because it just doesn't do very much damage by itself. You need to have damage on the opponent somehow beforehand, and that's just never really gonna happen for most stuff. There's some very niche situations where it might happen, but just not enough for it to be good. So man, there are a lot of these guys, seriously. Oh god, more hyper blah blah blah, whatever, you're not taking us down ever, seriously. You might have a cool badge thing, but you've got a dopey outfit and dopey Pokemon, and there's just no way. Although Watchog does get very irritating, it's a lower level than the previous ones, which means, you know, the rule of converses and all of that, it means it should go down in one surf. The other one only just didn't go down in one surf, so this one should, because it's like 2 levels lower, I guess? And it does. I'm also a level higher than the last time I fought one, so there is that too. So, level 41, I have 80 special attack, that's quite good, gotta admit. Scraggy, yes, I am switching out now because I don't want to be fighting a fighting type. I've said this before and I will say it again because I need to do that apparently. I don't really, but what else is there honestly to say in these fights? It's the same Pokemon coming up. Hey, this was one problem I had before, I think. Whoa! You've upgraded a little bit. High jump kick. It's 130 base power in this generation, so it's even stronger than before. However, if you miss with it, or if it gets blocked, you are guaranteed, I believe, to lose half of your health. And it does only have 90 accuracy, so you do have to be careful with it. But as you can see, even on an unevolved Pokemon like Scraggy, which doesn't have a very high attack power, it can still dish out a pretty hefty blow. Fighting types are just absurdly powerful in like every generation, and it's... yeah. Okay, not every generation, but, you know, they've been getting much stronger with everything, and I think fighting types, especially with their abundance in this generation, are actually arguably the best type. There's a lot of Pokemon that are weak against fighting, and they always seem to have very high attack powers and high base power moves to go with it, whether it be in high jump kick or, you know, close combat's the other big one. Cross chop can be good. Encore. Interesting attack that got nerfed in this generation. Encore I mean, the general idea of it is that if the opponent has used a move already and you use Encore, you will Encore them into that move. They will not be able to switch moves unless they switch out. So you're forcing a choice item effect onto them. However, the nerf for it is that this generation it only ever lasts 3 turns, whereas in the last generation it lasted anywhere between 2 and a massive 8 turns if they stayed in. So it is nowhere near as effective as it used to be at locking people in. You can get a switch and then that's about it, I guess. A switch, maybe one setup move. Oh well. We get Dragon Fang, 20% boost to Dragon type attacks. I don't have a Dragon Pokemon, so I can't really do anything with that yet. That is unfortunate. Oh, this place. Yes, this is a place, alright. The idea of this is kind of neat, I suppose, because it's using the 3D sort of effect-based stuff. Repel's effect is off. I'd better use another one just in case. I don't recall whether or not that's a thing over here, but it's worth using another one anyway. But yeah, it uses the whole 3D perspective-based effect thing very well, and I do appreciate it for that. It also has the one-way system, which is interesting. I missed an item out of that. I thought I was going to get that on the way past. I'd better go back and get it, I suppose. Blog. I guess I've got to go all the way around though, because the one-way thing means I can't go back probably. I should have seen it, and I was just too blind, so I bet 1 or 2 people may have been going, what are you doing there, you know. But whatever, it's a star piece. It sells for quite a lot actually, about 4,900 base, so it's a little bit less than a nugget, but you can obviously sell it to the maniac guy that you would sell nuggets to, and that's good as well. Because simply put, that's nearly 10,000. Like, 10,000 Pokédollars is a lot of money. That's a 1/7 of a Fire Blast, pretty much. Whoa! Shaking is going on, and that's not good. It's shocking! You heard something big up there, that is for sure. But that is gonna be for next time. The Max Elixir over here is once again a lot of stuff like that showing up here. But yeah, next time we're gonna see what is actually the deal up there. So this has been Gamer Cow playing Pokemon Black or Random Nuzlocke. It's a little bit shorter than some previous episodes, but it's long enough for this. So when we return, we shall find out what is going on top of the tower here. See what dragon awaits us, I guess. Take care, guys. My voice just went so weird there.